another piece to the wholesale equation is pick up the control. And what I mean by that is take that control to another level. That control that you have in a deal can make it or break the deal. It can be the difference between having a $5,000 assignment fee to having a $10,000 assignment fee. How do you do that? Title company. Controlling the title company. If your deal is good enough, and if the seller is motivated enough, they're not going to care. They're not going to have a title company. They're going to be like, well, actually, the last time that my burn-up house that I needed to sell, we like to use Stewart Title. They're not going to care, right? The end buyer, if your deal is good enough for them, if they're excited enough, which if you're not selling deals low enough to your end buyer, that they're not willing to say, well, no, I only close here, then your deal is not good enough. Always take control of the title company. I've had major problems with title companies not doing things the right way, with not releasing liens properly. I've had times when I've gone to closing and that there was supposed to be all the liens taken off, and I ended up having someone that died and they didn't have their deed in survivorship. Has anyone had to deal with that? It's a pain. You have to actually probate it. It's a major, major pain. It took another 2 months before we closed. I had to bring in an attorney. It was a major hassle. Control the title. Next piece is time to close. Keep the time to close. Allow yourself as much time as possible in order to close, in order to be able to do what it is that you need to do. Expect delays, expect issues. Make sure right when you get the deal, if you have something under contract, and you get this contract, and you have a seller, and you say, seller, I'm going to buy this property for $25,000, have that contract, after you do that, lock it up with what's called a memorandum of option or a memorandum of purchase contract. I do that every single time, and it has either saved me or it has cost me thousands of dollars. See, a lot of us, we all have issues with paying for education, don't we? What are these guys, or what are they going to be pitching me? We do some webinars, and I love giving surveys after the webinars on Real Estate Investor. They're like, well, I listened to this whole thing. It was some great free information, and then, you know, they were charged. You guys were pitching something, right? And it's like, man, you don't get it. You're going to pay one way or the other. I had a $3,000 seminar, is what I call it, because I didn't know about the memorandum of option. I had somebody, I locked up a property for $21,000, had that property sold in 2 days. And I remember this, November 2nd, I ended up helping out with voter registration, getting people to go out and vote, get out and vote, put my phone down, didn't end up doing anything for the day real estate related. November 3rd, I come back, and I'm like, are you kidding me? My end buyer, not the person that actually put any money down on it, my end buyer that was a prospect who I had never done business with before, called me up and was all excited. He went over to my seller's house with a cashier's check and a notary saying that he worked with me and got the deed of the house that very day. Filed the deed before I could do anything with it, and it was now already in his name, and it would have cost me major, major cash in order to be able to go through and all the lawsuit and dealing with it. Was it a huge deal? No. But it was brand new. I was right out in the chute. I was my month 4, I believe, in the business. And I mean, I was devastated. Has anyone had that feeling when you lose something or you miss out something and you feel sick to your stomach? Like you actually feel nauseous. You're like, I don't feel good. Like I ended up going home at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon and just put my head over my covers. And I said, I'm done. Just get this day over with. November 3rd is getting out of my life. Like I was done. Because that person did that to me. You better believe it. I get a wholesale contract. I'm going over to High Street. What is it? 400 High Street, right? I'm going to put that memorandum of option down. I say hi to Cindy, the little lady that's there, and I lock that deal up. What is a memorandum of option? That says it is essentially a lien on the property. It clouds the property up. That says, hey, title company, I'm over here. I'm still here. You cannot close. I have a contract on this property, and I'm able and willing to close. Okay? I used that, and I ended up having somebody that tried to do the same thing. Tried to sell it with somebody else, and he ended up not being able to sell it. And I said, I'm just going to sit and look at this lien on the property, and I'll just let this lien go for years. And you're going to have to come. You're going to have to come, and you're going to have to get it off, and I'm going to have a judge tell me to take this lien off because you're trying to come around me. I've already been beat. I've already been down this game before. I'm not going down this way again. He ended up allowing me to, I said, I will release this lien for $3,000. The seller, after his liens were paid off, he walked away with $900. I walked away with $3,000. He tried. Is that bad? Is that wrong? We had an agreed upon price. That's what the deal was. He got greedy. And if it wasn't Colin learning from the $3,000 seminar beforehand, he would have done it again. Take control of the property. Another piece of the control, and this is kind of control in a physical sense, especially for you ladies that are out there. This is important. We are going to be going into rough areas. If you think that you're going to be rolling around like Westerville and Dublin, like 43017 Dublin, let's look over at Muirfield. Great rehab potential. Ain't happening. Try South Side. Try Parsons. Try east of Parsons. Anyone have been out there before? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun, right? Good times. No way. What I do? Every single time I go to a property, because you can't roll around with a bat, right? And maybe most of you aren't down to like go around with guns or anything like that. I don't want to do that. You know what I do? Invest in yourself. And they are expensive. Get yourself a $30, $40 mag light flashlight. I call that deterrence. Someone is going to have to be really crazy or really cracked out if they're going to come out with me with a gigantic piece of steel in my hand. Take control of your business. Take control of your property. Doesn't matter what piece I'm talking about, whether it's through the title company or whether it's talking about carrying a mag light. Do it. Keep it in your car. Plus, you might need a flashlight, right?